Hello, everybody. Hope all is well at your end and you are practicing regularly. And I also wish your subject is getting better these days. Now it's time to move on to a new chapter. I'm so excited. What about you? Let's move on to quadrilaterals. We will see the introduction. At first, we will see what is a polygon. You have come across this word before. Polygon means it is a closed figure made up of line segments. Let us see more examples. A closed figure which is made up of line segments. So you can say this is a polygon. Another shape. This is also a polygon. What about this? Is it a polygon? Is this a polygon? Is this a polygon? Is this a polygon? Let us see one by one. This is a polygon because it satisfies both of them. It is closed and all the sides are line segments. Closed and line segment. Again, closed and line segment. Closed and line segments. So these are all polygons. Here, this is not closed, so this is not a polygon. This is closed, but this is not a line segment, so it is not a polygon. This is also not a line segment. A circle is not made up of line segments, so these are not polygons. So make sure what is a polygon? It should be closed and all sides should be made up of line segments. And you know, quadrilateral is a polygon because it is closed and all the sides are made up of line segments. But what is special about quadrilaterals? Quadrilateral is from the word quad, which means four, lateral, which means sides. So quadrilateral is a polygon with four sides. Now let us classify polygons. Any polygon given to you can be classified as convex polygon and concave polygon. What is the meaning of convex? Let us see here. This is a convex polygon. And how do you understand it? There are two facts to understand. Number one, all the interior angles will be less than 180. Means it can be acute, right, or obtuse. It can never be reflex angle. If all the angles are less than 180 degrees, that will be a convex polygon. That is first fact. Second fact is that whenever you draw a diagonal means it's a line joining one vertex to any of the vertices which is not adjacent. For example, you can draw a line from here to this. You can't draw from this to this or this to this because they are adjacent. So all the diagonals that you draw will be in the interior of the shape. From any of the vertex, if you draw a diagonal, all of them will be within or inside the shape. That is the second fact. Let us see another example. Do you think this is convex or concave? This is not convex. The reason is that, let us see the angles. This is less than 180, means less than a straight angle. Less than 180, less than 180, less than 180, less than 180. What about this? This is more than a straight line. So this is a reflex angle. So this is a concave polygon. If one or more angles in the interior of the polygon is reflex, then that is concave polygon. Let us see one more example. What do you think? This is convex or concave? This is concave. Why? Because, see this one, this is an reflex angle. Again, reflex angle. You have one or more reflex angle within the polygon, even though we have acute angles. But if you have one or more reflex angles, they are concave polygon. This information, you may need it for external exams when you appear for that. And that was the first fact. The second fact is that when you draw a diagonal from one vertex to the vertices which are not adjacent. From here, this is adjacent, this is adjacent, this is not adjacent. And can you see that this is the exterior outside the shape? So if the diagonal is exterior, in the exterior part of the shape, this is again concave. Again, you can draw a diagonal from any of this shape. It is outside the shape, so it is concave. So these are the facts to understand a polygon is convex or concave. Let's move on to get the types of polygons. You know, polygon can't be made up of two sides because it will never be closed. So the minimum number of sides to form a polygon is 3. So starting with a triangle, which has 3 sides, this is the first polygon, or the polygon with the least number of sides. If you have 4 sides, it is a quadrilateral. 5 sides is a pentagon. Hexagon, hex, it's a rhyming word with 6. Hex, 6. Heptagon is 7-sided figure. Octagon, like octopus, has 8 hands. Same way, octagon. Nonagon, it's like starting with n, 9 sides. Decagon is having 10 sides, and remember, it's not ending here. You can even have a polygon with 11 sides. It is called a hendecagon. 12 side is called dodecagon, and continues like that. But this is minimum you have to know. Not only in math, you also need it in physics, chemistry, and subjects like that. And also not only for your CBSE exams, you need it for the external exams later on. So please memorize these names. You can compare with some of the words in our surrounding to understand them. Moving on to more details about our lesson, which is about quadrilaterals. Let us consider quadrilateral as a big family, and the family name is quadrilaterals. And in this family, there are 7 children. First child's name is square. Second child is a rhombus, then a rectangle, parallelogram, trapezium, kite. These are 6 children, which is included in your syllabus. And there is one more which is internationally used, that is arrowhead. Why this is not included in this lesson is that all these 6 polygons, these 6 quadrilaterals are convex polygon, but arrowhead is a concave polygon. But just to give you some simple detail about this one, I included here just for your information only. So looking into details, square is the first child. He is perfect. His behavior is perfect. His attitude is perfect. Personality is excellent. So because, why I name it like that? Because all sides are equal. All angles are equal. And not only that, each one is straight, which means 90 degree. So all angles are 90 degree. Diagonals are equal. We have 4, symmetry. So many more details. So everything is perfect. So square is the first baby. He is a perfect one. The second child is rhombus. He is also good, but at the same time, he's not very straight, a little bit inclined. Third baby is rectangle. He is straight, but sometimes he is not, we can't predict is it longer or shorter. Again, parallelogram is the same way. It is not straight. It's inclined. Trapezium is a little bit naughty. We can't identify at all. Trapezium is British word, and in the American term is trapezoid. So if you come across this word anywhere, don't think this is another new polygon or something new which you haven't studied. It is exactly the same as trapezium, just an American word. Now, another thing about trapezium is there are specifically 2 trapeziums. Generally, trapezium can even be like that. Or we can say like this. This is also a trapezium. Of course, one pair should be parallel. But here, 2 sides are equal. If 2 sides are equal, we call it isosceles trapezium, if they are equal only. Doesn't matter about the other 2 sides. One pair should be equal, then it is called isosceles trapezium. Like what we learned, isosceles triangle. Isosceles means 2 sides are equal. But the second pair, it need not be equal, but they should be parallel. That is important in trapezium. Kite, as you know, heads are equal and tails are equal, but head and tail will never be equal. This will be longer and that will be shorter. These 2 angles will be equal. Now in arrowhead, of course, as we said, one of the angle will be reflex angle, which is more than 180, and the tail angles will be equal. These are all some information about this family. Now, in this family, it is better to study about the children in pairs. Square and rhombus, I would like to take these two together because imagine you are making the frame of a square using toothpick or the matchsticks. When you make the frame, and you know all the sides will be equal, so you take all the matchsticks of the same size or the toothpicks of the same size, and that will be the square. When you push from one corner without damaging the whole shape, just pushing, what will happen is you will get the square. Sorry, you will get the rhombus, which means sides remains the same, but the straight or the angle changes. So the difference between a square and a rhombus is that the angles are not 90 degrees in a rhombus. So you will have two obtuse angles and two acute angles. That's about the first two babies. Now let us see the third and fourth baby. Rectangle. Again, imagine you make a rectangle with the help of a toothpick, the frame. And if you push it from one corner, you will get a parallelogram, which means sides remains the same, which opposite sides are equal. But the angles, you will again have two obtuse angles and two acute angles in a parallelogram. Trapezium, it is totally a different person, like different shape. We have only one pair of parallel sides. That's the only condition for a trapezium. And as I told you, if it is isosceles trapezium, one pair of side will also be equal. Okay, now kite, as the word said, you know, like the heads are same and tails are same. And the arrowhead, it's clear. We don't have to go to further details of arrowhead here in this lesson. Now let's see more about each of the children in this family. Let's see the sides. In a square, you know, all four sides are equal. In a rhombus also, all four sides are equal. Rectangle, two pairs are equal. Parallelogram also, two pairs are equal. Trapezium, generally no sides are equal. But as I told you again, if they say isosceles trapezium, one pair will be equal. In the kite, two pairs will be equal. Heads are equal, tails are also equal. Two pairs are equal. Again, arrowhead, you have two pairs are equal. We can say heads are equal and the tails are equal here as well. Regarding the angles, in a square, all of them are equal to 90 degrees. So 4 90-degree angles. In a rhombus, are all the angles equal? No. We have two acute angles and two obtuse angles. In a rectangle, 4 angles are equal to 90 degrees. Again, the parallelogram, we have two acute angles and two obtuse angles. Trapezium, we can't say anything about the angles, they are equal or not, but we can say that there exists a same side interior angles. When you add these two angles, it will be 180 degrees. But regarding equals, we can't say anything about it. Here in a kite, one pair is equal, whereas the other one, this is obtuse and this is acute. So one pair of equal angles. In the arrowhead as well, these two tail angles are equal, but one reflex and one acute. So one pair is equal. One pair of equal angles in a arrowhead as well. Let's see about the parallel sides. Here two pairs are parallel. Also two pairs are parallel, two pairs are parallel, two pairs are parallel. The first four babies, as I told you, they are mostly perfect. But coming to the trapezium, one pair is parallel, only one pair, and that is how we call it as a trapezium, or we define a trapezium. A trapezium is a quadrilateral with one pair of parallel sides, at least. Kite, no sides are parallel. You might feel these two are parallel, but they are not. Even in an arrowhead, there are no parallel sides. Coming to the diagonal, hope you know what is a diagonal. Diagonal means it's a line starting from a vertex to any other vertices which is not adjacent to it. Means you can't draw to this one or this, we can only draw to the opposite. So this is a diagonal, this is also a diagonal. So in a square, two equal diagonals, both of them are equal. What about rhombus? Do you think the diagonal, this long one is equal to this short one? No, they are not equal. No diagonals are equal. In a rectangle also diagonals are equal. Parallelogram, one is long, one is short, so not equal. In a trapezium, we can't say anything about it. In a kite, of course, one is long, one is short, not equal. Arrowhead, there is only one diagonal inside. The other one is outside because it is a concave polygon. Next is coming to the symmetry. You know, symmetry is just like a mirror effect. How many lines of symmetry does a square have? There are 4 lines of symmetry. As I told you, square is a perfect child. So you can, what are the lines of symmetry in a square? When you fold it here, the left and right are equal. Again, when you fold it here, up and down are equal. When you fold it straight, it's left and right are equal, up and down are equal. So there are 4 lines of symmetry for a square. What about a rhombus? If you fold it like this, these two sides are not equal. But when you fold it through the diagonal, we have 2 lines of symmetry. For a rectangle, you can cross it vertically, 1 line of symmetry, 2 lines of symmetry only. Don't think this is a symmetry. This is not. Also, this is not a symmetry because when you fold it, this will come and touch here. This is not equal to this. So for a rectangle, there are only 2 lines of symmetry. Students used to make mistakes saying that there are 4 lines of symmetry. It is wrong. Parallelogram, by the way, there is no symmetry at all. Trapezium, if it is isosceles trapezium, it has 1 line of symmetry. But if it is simply a trapezium, there is no line of symmetry. For a kite, when you fold it vertically, there is 1 line of symmetry. Arrowhead also, you can fold it vertically. There is 1 line of symmetry. These are all some minute details about this family. Now let's move on to the next lesson of this chapter, which is about angles and property of a quadrilateral. To know about angles and property of a quadrilateral, first we have to recall what we studied in the previous chapter. That is angles and property of a triangle. There we have studied that the angles and property of a triangle is 180 degree. Doesn't matter how large or small the triangle is. When you add all the 3 angles, it should definitely be 180 degree. It can be an acute triangle, obtuse triangle, or right triangle, or scalene triangle, or isosceles triangle, or equilateral triangle, a small triangle, a large triangle, anything. When you add all the 3 angles of a triangle, we must get 180 degree. Now, coming to the lesson, which is about the angle sum property of a quadrilateral, it is just an application of triangle. Because, you know, a quadrilateral can be made up of 2 triangles attached close to each other. And you know, this is 180 and this is 180. So you know that the total angle in a quadrilateral is 180 plus 180, which is equal to 360 degree. Again, it doesn't matter what shape is it. Is it exactly a square or rectangle or rhombus or parallelogram, anything, the total angle should be 360 degree. Even here, 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90, 9 times 4 is 36, so we will get 360. Even in a arrowhead, even though it is a concave quadrilateral, concave polygon, it will be 360 because this is reflex angle, but we still have 3 acute angles. So this will also be 360 degree. These are all general information about the angles and property of a quadrilateral. So remember that angles and property of a quadrilateral total should give you 360 degrees. Hope the idea is clear. See you soon with the next lesson. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.